The warm-ups are over. It's time to move past the baby steps made against E-level opponents and into the real-deal showdowns as the college season heats up in Week 3.
The league we play in, we want to beat every opponent, especially SEC opponents.
The Bulldogs, unbeaten yet untested, face their biggest challenge so far, a double-digit favorite against a team and coach who have disrupted so many Georgia seasons in recent years.
I learned in a hurry. There's no such thing as style points in our league. You just try to win that thing and be thankful.
And the Yellow Jackets take the nation's second most prolific offense, 67 points per game, on the road to South Bend, where the opponent and the atmosphere will provide their biggest test yet.
They have a great home field advantage, a lot of tradition, and some really good football players.
It's about to get real in Week 3, in the Peach State and all across the country. We'll get you ready for it on Tailgatin with WTOC.
Good evening and welcome to Tailgating with WTOC. I'm Tim Guider alongside Cyria Sandlin, and we are inside the brand new Seasons of Japan on Victory Drive in Savannah, the newest of 6 in the Coastal Empire. We took a look around here earlier.
Nice.
Brand new, very nice. And, you don't think of Japanese as tailgating food. We had a bunch of BC students in here before.
A pregame meal.
They go to the game over at Savannah State, so maybe it is.
Yeah, it's nice actually to be inside some air conditioning this week. The past 2 weeks we've kind of been sweating like crazy, getting attacked by gnats, so this is cool. It's very nice.
The first hint of football weather, and we move inside.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we're going to end up going back and forth on this every week.
It'll be fun.
The first week we talked about the SEC, struggling. Last week they were great. Well, now they backed up again. 3 teams fall out of the top 25. Auburn goes to overtime against Jacksonville State. Florida almost loses to East Carolina. And then Arkansas does lose to Toledo. Not a good week for the SEC.
Yeah, definitely. We had a lot of movement this week in the poll rankings. Teams falling down. Wasn't one of their best weeks, but there is a lot of games to pay attention to tomorrow. A lot of rivalries happening tomorrow early in the season, getting things kicked off.
Yeah, this is kind of the week that the season kicks off. A lot of great games, some of them right here on WTOC. Let's take a look at the lineup for tomorrow, the games of interest around here. Savannah State's going to be on the road in Akron, but then that 3:30 game, a lot of people interested in Georgia Tech at Notre Dame.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 14, Georgia Tech at Notre Dame. Brad Stewart, of course, from BC.
Exactly.
Everybody's going to be watching him, a hometown boy. And Auburn at LSU, also definitely one to watch as well.
One of those teams could fall out of the poll with a loss tomorrow. Georgia Southern goes back, revisits its roots with a Southern Conference team and the Citadel coming to Statesboro. And then a big game tomorrow in Athens. Georgia and South Carolina. This game is always difficult, always uncomfortable for both teams. And we're going to see if the Dogs can live up to the billing. They're looking pretty good so far this season.
Yeah, absolutely. And also Grayson Lambert, a lot of people asking some questions about him. We are going to be keeping a close eye, talking about that in a little bit.
All right. Well, a lot of good games there. People looking at Florida-Kentucky game as a possible upset tomorrow, but, we'll see how it plays out. A lot of good games tomorrow. One already underway. Clemson-Louisville played last night. Clemson, it was one of those games they were happy to just get out of.
Yeah, they barely held on last night to beat Louisville. They only won by a few points. Clemson ranked number 11. Deshaun Watson had a lot of positives. He had 2 touchdown passes.
Yeah, they really relied on their defense in this one, though. On the road for the first time this season. Started slow, but the defense kept them in it with 5 sacks. Held Louisville to 19 yards rushing on the game. And Watson, you mentioned, he was not sharp at the beginning. Had a couple of interceptions. He finished with 21 of 30 for 199 yards, a couple of touchdowns. So he really didn't play himself out of the Heisman race. He stayed in.
He's still in there, but also Clemson ended up sacking quarterback Kyle Bowen 5 times, which is key to that victory.
All right. Well, a good win for Clemson. Any win is a good win, especially when you're a team that thinks you have to go undefeated to get into the playoffs, which Clemson will probably have to do. A pretty interesting stat. They are 40-0 Clemson in the last 5 years in games that they have led after 3 quarters. So
amazing.
If you want to get the Tigers, get them early.
Yeah, got to get them early, otherwise it's not happening.
Well, Deshaun Watson did not have a great game yesterday, but he's not a quarterback people are worried about. There's a quarterback in Athens that people are starting to talk about a little.
People are not happy with Grayson Lambert's performance so far.
Yeah, he's 2-0. He hasn't lost any games yet. But, again, people are not thrilled that this question that has been lingering all summer, who's going to be the quarterback? Dog fans don't know if it's answered yet. They've been reacting to this play the first couple weeks. They want to see how it improves.
There were things there in the first half that were open, and I just didn't hit it.
Grayson Lambert was being realistic about his performance in Saturday's closer-than-necessary win at Vanderbilt. Meanwhile, Georgia fans were being impatient. As the graduate transfer who earned the starting job this summer went through the first half without a completion Saturday, social media and fan sites such as Dogvent pulsed with criticism that could also be heard on the national broadcast of the game.
They need some quarterback play, and it's not been good enough in the first half.
And as the Dogs head into their biggest game of the season so far tomorrow, they could use an adjustment in efficiency on the field and attitude around it.
We don't need any boo birds in Sanford Stadium ever, but, that we need to get behind them and hopefully he'll perform. And then, Saturday against South Carolina is a great time to turn it up.
Lambert accepts that the responsibility to improve a Georgia passing game that ranks 12th in the SEC after 2 games against weak competition falls on him.
It just comes down to, giving the ball to the playmakers, whether it's a 30-yard pass or a handoff or a screen or a 5-yard pass, it doesn't matter. My job is to get the ball into their hands.
But a little support from the stands might help.
He knows how to play football, and it's time to turn it up a little bit. Because I know it's there. His mechanics are good, and he's got the running game and receivers around him. And South Carolina's defense is a little bit questionable, and I know they're limping into that game, but hopefully he can play football.
Well, a lot of Dog fans are saying give the other guys, Bryce Ramsey, Tom Bowder, a chance. But we're only 2 games in.
It's so early.
Yeah, tomorrow's such a pivotal game. Let's see how Lambert approaches a big game. And maybe if he reacts to that, maybe people will calm down a little bit.
Such a big game. Obviously, South Carolina is something everybody looks forward to all season long, a big rivalry. Georgia's the favorite, but you never can be too certain.
You can. When we come back on Tailgating with WTOC, we're going to look inside this rivalry game that is often pivotal to both teams' seasons.
Escape the fast food merry-go-round, Seasons of Japan.
Hi, welcome to Seasons of Japan. Have you signed up for our Seasons of Japan points?
You can now sign up for Seasons of Japan reward points. Every dollar you spend earns you points towards a free meal.
I've already got my points.
Enjoy Seasons of Japan in South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Illinois, and California. And now open, our newest location on Victory Drive in Savannah. Come see us today.
Quality service is our commitment to you. It's what we do. At Hollingsworth Auto, we've thrived by offering quality collision repair since 1917. Our repair process has evolved with time, but our commitment to customer service and craftsmanship has remained constant for nearly a century. Our team has the experience, knowledge, and equipment to repair your vehicle the right way. Come see us at Hollingsworth when you need collision repair.
As your WTOC First Alert weather team, our #1 priority is making sure you're prepared for whatever weather comes our way.
If we see changes in the weather that would change your plans, you'll know first.
We'll be there to keep you ahead of the weather, no matter where you are.
With First Alerts from the WTOC Weather app. First Alerts on Facebook and Twitter.
Live on WTOC and WTOC.com.
Keeping you safe by keeping you ahead of the storm. We're your WTOC First Alert weather team.
Welcome back to Tailgating with WTOC. Tim Guider and Cyria Sandlin at the brand new Seasons of Japan on Victory Drive. Actually, a brand new shopping center here right across from Whole Foods.
This place has really kind of just sprung up in the past couple of years or so. All these new restaurants and stores, and obviously Seasons of Japan very well known in the area. And now adding another location to the list.
That's right. We mentioned earlier some BC kids coming in to do some pre-game meals here, and it might not be something that you think to have at a football game, but you can do it.
Yeah, I mean, to me, any food can be tailgating food. This location does a lot of takeout, so it's really perfect.
Absolutely. Well, we stopped by a little earlier this week and saw how with a little imagination, a little preparation, you can add teriyaki to your tailgate. So, Toshi, this is the newest of the Seasons of Japan?
Oh, yeah, it is.
All right. How long have you been here? And just tell me a little bit about the space you have.
Oh, so this is a brand new location. We just opened about a month ago. It's been a well-received restaurant, and we're very excited about that. And today I just want to show you we can do a tailgating food, Japanese style.
Neat.
So we can go to the kitchen now and show you how to make some.
Excellent. All right. So what are we going to make back here?
Okay, so what we have now is we have a grilled chicken, barbecue chicken. We could do dark meat, white meat for the healthier alternatives, but what we use is dark meat. Okay. So it's been prepared already. So what we're going to do is heat it up, and we're going to put some teriyaki sauce, secret teriyaki sauce that we use that everyone loves.
And that's why you can do this maybe to tailgate. All you need is a grill if you've already got the chicken grill.
Oh, yeah,
and you bring the ingredients, you can throw it together right there in the back of your car. How do you prepare the chicken beforehand?
We like to barbecue them.
Right. Oh, okay.
Just like the sizzling steak.
Right,
that brings out a little more flavor.
And then you would typically serve that maybe over rice?
Yeah, we like to do the chicken bowls. So what we do is usually have a bed of rice. So fried rice, so I can make the fried rice now.
Sure.
We're going to oil it first.
Okay.
Again, this can be done in a frying pan or any kind of flat top or anything like that. You don't need a special equipment. This is what makes it a little bit Japanese. Okay. Salt and pepper. I like to also put
sesame seeds. Okay. And those will kind of crisp up on the grill top.
Oh yeah, and it also brings out a great smell and a flavor, of course, when it cooks. For us, seasoned Japan, we don't want to put a lot of stuff on our fried rice like eggs or carrots or anything like that. It's simple. The simpler the better for us. Cover it up with the soy sauce.
But that's where it gets that color from, doesn't it?
Yeah, it gets the color. Also, when the soy sauce is cooked, it brings out this great smell to it.
Yeah.
And of course, the flavor, people like that.
So you just kind of mix it up like that?
Oh, yeah. And the greatest thing about this is, this isn't something that it's going to go bad, quickly. You can just cool it down and reheat it, or it's going to taste just as good. Just don't forget white sauce.
That's the sauce that goes on top.
Oh, yeah. Just bring a famous white sauce that we have, and your tailgating will be complete.
And we'll get that to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Toshi told us this is something you can actually prepare in advance and bring to the game. You wrap the rice up in foil, and then you have the chicken grilled, and you just do it right there on a grill behind your car when you're at the game.
Yeah, which is perfect for tomorrow because you got a later game, so a lot of people will be heading up to Athens, so you can stop by on your way, pick up some food to go.
You can also do some takeout.
Yeah, there you go.
All righty, well, they're going to be tailgating in Athens tomorrow, the biggest game of the season so far for the Dogs. They go into this game, get this, a 16.5-point favorite against South Carolina in a game that is always close.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, the favorite, but they're not going to be taking this game lightly at all. They never
Absolutely do. No. They've lost to Steve Spurrier 16 times. That's the most any coach has beaten Georgia. And the Bulldogs come into this 2-0. They've been okay the first two games. They beat two teams that they should beat. Got a little close with Vanderbilt last week, but the game was never really in danger. But now South Carolina comes in. They bring a little bit more talent than those teams.
Yeah, but they also lost to Kentucky. They did, though, win 4 of the last 5 games versus Georgia, so it is going to be one to watch.
All righty, well, Mark Richt, of course, very interested in how this game turns out. We're going to see if these Bulldogs can live up to their biggest challenge of the season so far.
Tomorrow will likely reveal whether the Bulldog offense has been spotty in the first 2 weeks, or if they were holding back much of the playbook against inferior opponents. Even with South Carolina ranking 87th nationally in defense, the Gamecocks will bring better defensive talent to Athens than the Dogs have faced so far. So while Nick Chubb will continue to be the center of the UGA offense, and likely will get more than the 17 carries he has averaged in the first 2 games, the Dogs will need production from other sources, especially on the outside. No Georgia receiver has more than 7 catches on the season, and the Dogs rank 12th in the SEC in passing, averaging just 166 yards per game, numbers that will have to improve as Georgia's competition does in the first of several rivalry games for the Bulldogs this season.
Yeah, it's a gruesome battle. Words always just exchange between players. Guys from Georgia are there. So we had some South Carolina guys on our team, so it's just a lot of verbal things and physical things also.
Basically, it's almost like every week is a team that it's some type of rivalry, but it just lets me know that every week we got to come to play.
I do like the fact that we're at home. I really enjoy playing at home. I love our fan base and what they represent and how they support us. And they can be a factor, and I think they will be a factor.
Well, Georgia 2-0 for the first time since 2012. Only the second time in the last 7 seasons. They have trouble with Carolina, though. The Gamecocks have won this game 4 of the last 5 years.
Definitely going to be one to watch. Another one we want to keep a close eye on. That's going to be right here on WTOC. Georgia Tech, Notre Dame heading to South Bend.
Biggest game yet for the Yellow Jackets. Actually, also for the Fighting Irish. When we come back on Tailgating, we're going to take you inside this game. And it's going to feature 2 ranked teams. And they're going to have a lot to do with the success of either team's season.
15 years ago, Chewy Ice was born at Parker's. To celebrate this anniversary, Parker's is taking our 32-ounce fountain drink price back to the original price of 69 cents. Often imitated and never duplicated. Fast, fresh, and friendly. Parker's.
What
Barbasol is proud to sponsor the Barbasol Championship on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail.
15 years ago, Chewy Ice was born at Parker's. To celebrate this anniversary, Parker's is taking our 32-ounce fountain drink price back to the original price of 69 cents. Often imitated and never duplicated. Fast, fresh, and friendly. Parker's.
This weekend at American Freight, two-piece sofa and love seat groups like this one for only $398, or this one for $498, or this one for $598, or this one for $698, or this one for $798. Beautiful sofa and love seat groups, free layaway, same-day delivery, this weekend only at American Freight in Savannah at 15,000 Abercorn Street. Look for the big American flag, 232-2229.
A good seat helps you enjoy the game. To enjoy your daily travels, you need a good driver's seat. And at our store, you'll find one you really like. Franklin Chevrolet in Statesboro. We have a team of professionals dedicated to putting you in exactly the driver's seat you want. For a monthly payment that's only about as much as a day at the game, you can be driving a beautiful new vehicle. Franklin Chevrolet in Statesboro. You'll be treated like a Hall of Famer. Our goal is your complete satisfaction.
Welcome back to Tailgating with WTOC. We're on Victory Drive at the new Seasons of Japan store, and we're looking ahead to a lot of great games tomorrow, a very important one for Georgia Tech. The Jackets 2-0 have scored 134 points in the first two games, but we don't know what that means.
Yeah, exactly. This game tomorrow might truly be the first test of the season. Playing Notre Dame at South Bend, a lot of kids traveling on that team for the first time.
Yeah, this is a game that they've been pointing toward because, they played a couple of soft teams in the first games, and they did exactly what they should do against those teams. They blew them out. But Tech looking very good. Number 2 in the nation in scoring, number 1 by a large margin in rushing. And now they head out to face the 24th ranked defense in the country. Could be pretty interesting.
Yeah, Justin Thomas is the only offensive player returning this year, the only offensive skill player. But this truly is a chance for Tech to put themselves on a national level.
Georgia Tech takes a sizable step up in competition after 2 blowout wins that build confidence along with offensive numbers for the Jackets. Tech has had 13 different players score in the first 2 weeks, and quarterback Justin Thomas has accounted for 5 touchdowns in just 4 quarters of play so far. The junior is the only offensive skill position player to have played a road game before and will have had to lead the Jackets into South Bend against a defense that is much bigger and faster than the ones they've faced so far. Notre Dame ranks 24th nationally against the run and held Texas to 60 yards on 39 carries in the season opener 2 weeks ago. How the Irish stand up to a Tech running game that easily leads the nation with 457 yards per game will likely determine this matchup of ranked teams.
Really a tough place to go in there and play. They have a great home field advantage, a lot of tradition, and some really good football players. So we're looking forward to the challenge of going in. It'll be our first road game of the year.
They're going to be big, physical. They got guys that can run also. So you just got to come in, bring your A game and be ready to play. So you just got to go in and be mentally ready. Everything's not going to go perfect. How, maybe they have been these past few games, but you just got to be ready mentally going into these type of games.
Now, although Notre Dame barely beat Virginia last week, this is definitely going to be, without a doubt, one of the quickest defenses that Tech has played in a while.
Yeah, a lot of speed, a lot of bigger, a lot of injuries for Notre Dame, too. They've got 5 starters out already, including their quarterback. So it'll be interesting to see. But there is a sidebar to this game that is worth watching. Brian Van Gorder, now the defensive coordinator at Notre Dame, he coached at Georgia Southern after Paul Johnson. And he didn't just change the offense when he got there. He derided the triple option that Paul Johnson invented. He called it a gimmick. He said you can't practice defense against it. And some people who were close to Paul Johnson this week said he did not like anything that Brian Van Gorder said about his offense. And he would be only too happy if given the opportunity this week to show him just how good
well it works.
That triple option works, how productive it can be.
Well, we are also going to take a look at the Georgia Southern game tomorrow for Citadel.
Absolutely. They're going to be playing an old, familiar foe in the Citadel. When we come back, we'll take a look at how the Eagles have turned their season around and how they want to keep going in the right direction.
This is the game we like to call Follow the Leader.
with best fuel economy, best towing, best torque, best payload. And with more people driving Ram trucks than ever before, we've built quite the following. Get a great deal on the best trucks during Ram Truck Month. Now get $8,500 in total values on Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab models in stock the longest.
The ingredients for a better football season? You're looking at them.
Get our kickoff special. Any large two-topping pizza for $10. And don't forget the Pepsi. Add a double chocolate chip brownie for $6 more.
Better ingredients, better pizza, better football. At the new PapaJohns.com.
When you're looking for huge selection and incredible value, you'll find it at Franklin Toyota in Statesboro or franklintoyota.com. And make sure to watch the WTOC Sports Desk, sponsored by Franklin Toyota.
Do you hate big box stores, traffic lights, and customer no service? Come shop Coastal Ace Hardware, the closest hardware store to downtown Savannah, Port Wentworth, Sun City, and Hilton Head Lakes. Coastal Ace Hardware, Highway 17 in Hardyville, South Carolina. Coastal Ace Hardware sells Mahindra tractors, and just in time for hunting season, the new XTV 750, Bad Boy mowers, Big Tex, Look Enclosed, and Anderson trailers, trailer parts, and much, much more. That's Coastal Ace Hardware.
Welcome back to Tailgating with WTOC. You know, we've been talking about all these teams that are stepping up in competition for the first time. Well, Georgia Southern's doing a little bit different. Yeah. They're going to go backwards. They've played two very difficult first games, and now they're going to play a softer opponent, an FCS team in the Citadel tomorrow.
Definitely a familiar face, but like you said, taking it back a little bit after a brutal first loss and then a win at home, which was great.
And a tremendous way to turn this season around, because that's a good team that came into into Paulson Stadium last week. It was 8 wins the year before, a bowl team, and Southern ran them off the field. 43-17. You couldn't really have asked for a better win after that loss to West Virginia. Yeah, well, they've got their season going in the right direction. They want to keep it going that way.
The Eagles get the opportunity to be the opponent other teams step up to play when former Southern Conference foe the Citadel visits Paulson Stadium. It could also be a chance for the Eagles to continue the quick turnaround their season took last week with a home blowout of a bowl team from a year ago in Western Michigan. After dominating throughout against the team that had stayed close against number 5 Michigan State just a week earlier, Southern hopes to continue building momentum as it prepares to start defense of its Sun Belt title next week. And while Coach Willie Fritz thinks his team might get a boost from last week's win, he says the Eagles cannot look past the Citadel.
Well, it's a big win. Quality opponent coming into Paulson Stadium without question. But I also believe that sometimes, you know, teams win a ball game and they sit back and kind of rest on their laurels and, you know, start patting themselves on the back too much. And, you know, we drop it. You know, I tell them it's, you know, a 24-hour pout rule, but there's also a 24-hour gloat rule too. You know, and we're on to the next deal, and we're getting ready for the Citadel. You know, this is a Super Bowl for them, and it's got to be a Super Bowl for us too.
Well, the Eagles get another boost tomorrow with the return of starting quarterback Kevin Ellison. He was a starter all last year, sat out the first 2 games with an academic suspension, but he returns to the team. Now, Coach Willie Fritz did not necessarily say he's the starter, but you know you're going to see him on the field. If he doesn't start the first series, he's going to get out there quick.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And Savannah State heading to Akron, Ohio, hoping to snap that very, very long
22 games over the parts of 3 seasons now. And they've had some bad losses in that stretch. But now they go and they face a team 127th out of 127 in FBS in scoring. Akron has a total of 10 points this season. They scored 3 in the opener. They scored a touchdown the second week. Maybe the Tigers can get one.
You're saying there's a chance.
Well, you know what? At this point, it is still about improvement for the Tigers. I mean, it would be great if they went up there and got the win. But Coach Ernest Wilson, he really just wants to see steady progress for this program.
We got 80 in our program for the last 2 years. We have 80 freshmen and sophomores. So on our roster, out of 103, we got 9 seniors and we got 13 juniors. So the great days are ahead of us. So, but the thing that was very impressive, our guys came in stronger, bigger. We had a couple 3-star athletes, which you don't normally get in this program. So we're really turning this program into a Division I program.
Step up and cannot get away. Rams have a...
All right, you can listen to this game and all Savannah State games on WHCJ 90.3 FM. WTOC's Greg Kaplan is the voice of the Tigers.
Yes, a familiar face will be calling that game for us, so we'll have to be listening out for him
We'll
tomorrow.
listen in, and we'll keep an eye on Greg, too, see how he's doing.
He's doing okay.
All right, when we come back, we're going to wrap things up on Tailgating with WTOC.
15 years ago, Chewy Ice was born at Parker's. To celebrate this anniversary, Parker's is taking our 32-ounce fountain drink price back to the original price of 69 cents. Often imitated and never duplicated. Fast, fresh, and friendly. Parker's.
Escape the fast food merry-go-round, Seasons of Japan.
Hi, welcome to Seasons of Japan. Have you signed up for our Seasons of Japan points?
You can now sign up for Seasons of Japan reward points. Every dollar you spend earns you points towards a free meal.
I've already got my points.
Enjoy Seasons of Japan in South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Illinois, and California. And now open, our newest location on Victory Drive in Savannah. Come see us today.
Hey, welcome to What Would You Pay? Now, ladies, this is an item you buy every day. Tell us the non-sale price and you win.
$4.99. $3.49.
I'm sorry we asked for the non-sale price. $4.99 is the correct...
But it doesn't have to be on sale if you use a coupon. With CouponBug.com, you can choose from up to 250 coupons and print them right at home.
Hey, looks like we have a winner! Johnny, tell her what she's won. What would you pay? CouponBug.com.
15 years ago, Chewy Ice was born at Parker's. To celebrate this anniversary, Parker's is taking our 32-ounce fountain drink price back to the original price of 69 cents. Often imitated and never duplicated. Fast, fresh, and friendly. Parker's.
Well, this is the week that really kicks things off for the college football season. Week through, you got a little bit of the football weather going on, but we have a lot of great games.
Yeah, most teams in conference play, we're seeing a little bit of rivalries. Let's take a look at some of those big games you're going to be looking out for tomorrow. We have a Savannah State at Akron. We just talked about that at noon.
A big one in the afternoon, Georgia Tech versus number 8 Notre Dame. The Jackets favored on the road in that game by 2.5 points against Notre Dame. A lot of people thinking the Jackets can win that one.
Also, Auburn at LSU, 3:30. That is going to be right here on WTOC.
Right, the Citadel in Paulson Stadium to play Georgia Southern, and then 6 o'clock tomorrow night, Georgia and South Carolina at Sanford Stadium. And we're going to have a couple games on WTOC tomorrow, too. We've got Northwestern versus Duke at noon. That's our ACC Raycom game of the week. And then at 3:30, a big one there.
Auburn at LSU. And then also Sunday, we've got Dolphins at Jags. That's kicking off at 4 p.m.
That's a 4 o'clock game. That's an odd starting time for that. But we're going to get the football weekend kicked off in just a couple of hours here. Come back and join us at 11:30 tonight after the news at 11 for the End Zone.
22 games. We've got Christina Tuso, Rick Snow, Ken Greiner. They are running all over the area. I mean, your high school football games, get your highlights right here after the news at 11.
All righty. Well, thank you so much for joining us on Tailgating with WTOC. We'll see you next week.